Because here's the thing, waking up exhausted is not usually the only problem. A lot of times waking up still feeling like you're asleep, your brain isn't turning on, you don't have that cognitive function like you want, right? A lot of women also feel achy, sore, stiff, like, oh, I feel swollen and puffy and things aren't working right, all that. So keep in mind that there can be more than one factor going on here. And we want to address all of it. We want to target all the things and then make sure you're getting the right guidance and advice going through it. So even if you are doing something really good, you're not quitting too early and throwing in the towel when you should keep going. Hey there, welcome to the Female Health Solution podcast, where we discuss women's health, hormones, and everything else in between. Join me as we dive into the tools that you need to live your healthiest life. Why am I so tired when I wake up? Why am I so exhausted? Why do I have such a hard time getting out of bed, getting going? I feel like a zombie. It takes me at least a cup of coffee to feel like a person. It takes me an hour, right? I hear these things all the time from women. I am Dr. Beth Westy, women's health and hormone expert, author of the book, The Female Fat Solution. I'm also host of this podcast, the Female Health Solution podcast. We are going to dive into fatigue in the morning and talk about some specifics. Now, when we talk about fatigue in the morning, just know that this is one of those things, like a lot of other health things, that is more complex than a lot of people make it. And there's no just one answer for everyone, right? It's not a matter of, just do this one simple thing. Just wake up really early and there you go. You're not going to be tired. Oh, are you kidding? Are you kidding? Oh, if it was that easy, we wouldn't be struggling, right? Women that I know, women that I work with are smart and resourceful and driven and try things, right? Nobody comes to this place where they're like, I have been struggling with this for this amount of time. I've been struggling for 2 years or more or whatever without trying different things to see if it makes an improvement. No, without doing some research, without talking to some people, without going to appointments, right? No one does that, right? By the time women find me, the information, all this stuff, they've been down this road. This is not their first rodeo. So the information that I'm sharing is really to get you to consider, this is what may be going on for you, and this could look really different for you. And we have to get to the bottom of it and understand what your system is doing specifically. This is why we do Dutch testing. This is why we do Dutch testing. This is why I look at Dutch tests. This is why we look at your results in detail to see specifically what's happening. We look at, hopefully you can see this, the cortisol levels here, all of that stuff, because it shows us exactly what's happening. There was a report I saw, yesterday. As I'm recording this, I went through a report with a gal yesterday. Her waking levels for free cortisol were below range. And so she said that she had fatigue. She said all this other stuff. But what I had told her, because that's all she filled out and that's all she kind of brushed over it. Yeah, I've had fatigue for a while. Yeah, I'm tired. I said, okay, well, looking at this, it looks like you wake up on a completely empty battery, and it's going to take a while, and it's going to take a lot of energy and effort and other tools. A lot of times it's coffee or caffeine to get you going in the morning. And she was like, oh my gosh, that's exactly it. I was like, you might feel, like empty battery, zombie-like. She's like, that's exactly how I feel. How did you know? I was like, I'm not psychic. It's what your labs are showing. It's what your labs are showing. Now, that's just one reason you can be fatigued. There can be a lot of other things at play. Why are your cortisol levels so low? Are you not sleeping well? Even if you are asleep, are you getting into those deeper brainwaves of sleep? We look at nutrient levels. We look at melatonin levels. We look at your circadian rhythms. We look at your body's ability to repair overnight and everything, right? We look at so much for you. And want to make sure that whatever it is that you're struggling with, we target the specific things. That way you're not wasting any more time. You're not wasting any more energy or money on avenues that are not improving what's going on, because we're not guessing. So in the program, right, the Female Hormone Solution program, this is one of the key pieces. So many women I talk to, they'll be like, oh, yes, I I'm struggling with sleep. I'm struggling with energy. I can't wake up in the morning. I'm totally exhausted. I force myself to get up. I force myself to do a workout, etc. And so said this. My husband said this. I just need to stop being so lazy, or I just need to stop whatever. It's not about willpower. It's not about laziness. Your body doesn't have it. You don't have gas in the tank. You cannot drive a car on an empty gas tank. It's not going to go anywhere. Your system is the same. You have to work on getting gas in the tank. And how we get gas in the tank is it's not just one thing, right? Of course, it's not that simple of just putting gas in the tank, there it goes, right? Right, of course. But you have to get good sleep. You have to go to bed at a reasonable hour. Your brain has to go through these deeper brain waves at night while you're sleeping. You need to have good nutrients. You need to have enough protein and everything else. And resetting that circadian rhythm can take time. If you are somebody who travels, or if you have a stressful job or something, it can be tough to work through these different things, right? So it's important that you target the right thing, and then that you have the right support, because nothing is more frustrating than trying something and then not knowing if what you're doing is actually leading you in the right direction, or if actually what you're doing is the wrong thing completely. I talked to somebody else. This was a week ago now. One of the things that we discussed when we were getting started with her plan, program, everything, she was like, yeah, I've tried this and this, but it didn't work. So I stopped. And I was like, how long did you do that for? She's like, well, I was doing it for a couple of weeks. I did it for a couple of weeks and it didn't work. And I said, okay, I understand that that can feel frustrating to do something, make a change and not see the result of it. But I said, honestly, with how terrible your levels are, 2 weeks is a drop in the bucket. I was like, you're going to have to apply this for at least 2 months to really see that shift and change. After 2 weeks, it's just not enough time, right? And you only know that if you have the experience, or are working with somebody with the experience to look at the labs and say, hey, you're on the right track. We just got to keep going with it. I said it would take at least a month for you to feel a difference. And then another month to really get it to improve and say, now I feel different. Now I'm waking up and feeling better. Because here's the thing, waking up exhausted is not usually the only problem. A lot of times waking up still feeling like you're asleep, your brain isn't turning on, you don't have that cognitive function like you want, right? A lot of women also feel achy, sore, stiff, like, oh, I feel swollen and puffy and things aren't working right, all that. So keep in mind that there can be more than one factor going on here. And we want to address all of it. We want to target all the things and then make sure you're getting the right guidance and advice going through it. So even if you are doing something really good, you're not quitting too early and throwing in the towel when you should keep going. The gal that I talked to, when I was like, yeah, you like, that was good. Like, keep doing that. She was like, dang it. So you're telling me if I had kept doing this, I'd be feeling a lot better by now. I was like, yeah, sorry. But she's like, okay, well, at least I know, right? When we know better, we can do better. So we're just working on getting that knowledge, getting that information, and then moving forward from here, right? Again, main things that I see of being exhausted in the morning, your whole circadian rhythms are off. Melatonin levels, cortisol levels, those are big factors. Again, we see those on a Dutch test. We see this page here, I'll show you. We see your melatonin dial right here. We see your adrenal function. We see the free cortisone, free cortisol. These are really important factors that we look at and then make your recommendations from there. Not guessing, not hoping, really targeted specific things that are designed to help you move from the place that you're at. There's also, besides supplement recommendations, nutrition recommendations, lifestyle recommendations, all of those things are included. When you start to begin to feel different in your body, you get this whole new reconnection with everything. Nothing is more frustrating than feeling like you're living in and stuck in this body that doesn't do what you want it to do, or you can't figure out where to go from here. Like you're living in this meat suit that's just a prison and it sucks. And you feel like garbage. And you're like, how do I move from this place, right? There's a lot of different things that we do. Sometimes we really work on sleep recommendations, getting you to sleep better at night and really tracking things. There's even sometimes I've had people say, hey, I've told them, I was like, you need to get a sleep apnea study. Right. And they're like, are you sure? I asked about it. They told me blah, 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 blah. And I was like, listen, what we're seeing here, you need additional support. You need additional support. It can feel frustrating, again, to do all these things and not get a result. But when you do the testing, when you have the guidance, it's going to lead you in a direction where you start to feel and notice the shift and change overall. So how do you get started? Where do we begin? You know where. Go to the links. Click that link. Do not hesitate to ask me questions, right? I've worked with thousands of women over the last, over a decade and a half, right? I guarantee you're not going to tell me anything that I haven't heard before. And there's always a step forward that you can make that starts to make a difference for you. The sooner you get started, the sooner you start to feel better. The sooner you begin, then the sooner that you start to realize, oh my gosh, I'm in control of my health again. I'm in control of how I feel again. And then that can be that one burden taken off of your plate where you can really refocus your life on the things that you want to focus on. So, all right, that's what I got for you guys today. Please let me know if you need anything else. That's what I'm here for. I'm here for your support. I always love the feedback. Thank you for being a part of this community. I so appreciate you guys. I really, really do. I know I say that a lot, but it's one of my favorite things is to just go through and work with you and be on this journey with you and to see your lives change for the better, and to live your best lives. I love it. So anyway, all right, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for joining me on today's episode. If you would like more information, just head on over to drbethwesty.com for all the show notes and information from today's episode. And if you're looking for more community, more support, you can find and follow me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and I would love to see you there.